Alright, so you may have noticed on the main page that there was a Python 3 and a Python 2. So if we go back to the downloads, here we go, 2.7 and 1.14. So what this is actually two separate versions of Python that have been used. 2.7 was obviously the line of twos right after 1, and it is actually older than 3. But so many people were using the 2.x suite that a lot of people wanted it to stay. So the makers of Python actually continue to update. As you can see here, the latest update was in September, but the version 2 is actually known as Legacy. So what Legacy is actually old, right? Legacy means it's old, it's been long gone, but they're continuing to make small updates. So there won't be anything new. They're not going to add any new functionality, but they'll make sure bugs are fixed and the people that are using it will continue to use it. So if you had an application from about 5 years ago, you can still have 2.7 if you want that, if you don't want to switch over to 3. So this is pretty hard when you have a lot of programmers and a lot of applications on Python 2. You don't necessarily want to move to Python 3, but you should eventually. So as I said, 3.6.3 is the newest, but you don't want to get the newest version, so 3.5 is the most worldly available, and all tools usually reference 3.5 and recommend 3.5 as well. So as I said, all of these that are Python 2 will eventually be deprecated, which means will stop being supported. So any kinds of bugs or additional information, there won't be any updates, so eventually everything will actually phase out Python 2. So a couple of difference here. Python 3 has a funky new function, so it uses print as a function now. So we'll see later on. You used to be able to write print and then type whatever you want, but that no longer works in Python 3. You have to put the parentheses there. So one of the funny little changes, a lot of people actually get very mad about this and don't use Python 3 because of this, but of course there are lots of benefits to using Python 3 anyways. So we'll keep on using Python 3. I'll teach you Python 3 as it's the most common, and you should start with the newer versions instead of going back in time. So unless you have an application from many years ago, we're going to focus on using Python 3. So stay with me. We will get into section 2, learning all the basics, and move on from there. Stay tuned for more information.